Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 322 for the 11th of January 2023 for the Ukraine war or the special military operation that is starting to look a bit going to escalate. So let's start off with the most significant news is that there is a change of leadership command of the special military operation on the Russian side. The the defense minister announced that the deputy defense minister and also the chief of general staff, Valery Gerasimov, will take over the full command of the entire special military operation. Sergei Surovikin, our thumbnail star, he will be operating as the sorry, choke on my saliva. Yeah, Surovikin will be the deputy. So he's still in the operation. He's not like replaced to the point where he's like fired or not involved anymore. But he will actually be working under his direct boss. And he'll be joined by two other generals, Oleg Selyukov, who is the general of the entire army and ground forces, general of the ground forces, the commander of all ground forces in Russia, as well as the deputy chief of staff, which is Alexei Kim, which is also a very high-ranking guy. Surovikin, if you do not know, he's actually the commander of all aerospace force. So he's joined by the commander of all ground forces. So this is not a downgrade or any sort. It's actually they have upgraded the entire special military operation to a next level. And to be honest, there's no more higher level because Valery Gerasimov basically is the highest ranking military guy in Russia right now. He's the most high ranking military guy. Sergei Shoigu is never a military guy. He's a politician, more like a politician than a military guy. So, and then Gerasimov is the deputy. He is the highest ranking military guy. So in the case of a Russian declaration of war, this will literally be the same structure, the same people that will be in command of any war effort. So the Russian side also, Putin announced that they will be investing their oil and gas revenue into buying more military and civil aircraft, because he criticized the lack of orders for military and civil aircraft, and he instructed the head of Ministry of Industry and Trade to work out this issue with the Ministry of Defense. Basically, he's not happy that these two guys are not working together, I guess. So, forcing them to, buy more planes. Anyway, they have 200 billion rubles to spend. So, a lot of money to buy a lot of things. And over in Belarus, there is heavy Russian equipment being spotted at a train station with Z marking. So it was a Z with a box. So this is a sign that there might be a northern invasion, because the Z marking is never really a good sight, because those are war markings. And moving on to Ukraine. In the Ukraine side, the Poland has decided to transfer between I think it's maybe 12 Leopard tanks, because they say that it's going to form up a company of Leopard tanks, which based on I think my understanding is actually 12 tanks. So but the sources wrote 10 tanks. So this is the first time a main battle tank is going to be transferred to Ukraine, and I think UK and other countries are now looking forward to want to transfer tanks as well. Poland have started it, and I called this because since the announcement of the Bradleys, I already said that it's likely that they're going to transfer tanks within this year, and I think that it's going to be pretty quick, given that you can't really form an offensive without tanks, and the transfer of tanks just basically confirms it. And Canada is going to buy NASAMS from USA to give to Ukraine. I guess these are some people, many of you might have already heard about this. They're going to spend 406 million, so that's actually not a token change. And interestingly, Ukraine, Poland, and Lithuania leaders have all met in Lviv and they have signed a declaration of the Lublin Triangle. So they form an alliance. They say that they're going to the purpose of the alliance is actually to support Ukraine to integrate into EU and NATO. I think it's nothing to do with this. That's my opinion, because there's no need for a special alliance just to do something like this. And Lithuania, in the same meeting, also decided to transfer air defense systems to Ukraine. So that's all from the geopolitical or political side of things. And Ukraine reported that Russian Ka-52 has been shot down over Ukraine. A Russian Ka-52 has been shot down over Ukraine, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. And there is on the Black Sea, over at Novorossiysk. I don't know how to pronounce this. Novorossiysk. There is the naval base there. The Russian naval base is over here. There is the fleet. Most of the fleet over here has left port. These include 3 submarines, 1 amphibious ship, and 1 landing ship. And there might be other ships that are still unclear just yet. So the last time from this I'm not sure who is this publisher, but they said Naval News. The last time Naval News saw this is that it precedes a missile strikes. So this is the first time in a long time this entire fleet has came out. So might signal something. The southern front, we don't have any reports from the southern front, so we also didn't have any report from the Zaporizhia line, except that there was a shelling report at Novosibirsk, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. Over at the Donetsk region, at the Donetsk front, we have a Russian offensive happening. AZ military reported that there is fighting at Zolota Neva, and also fighting reported at Prashistivka. They are basically pushing, and according to this report by AZ military, the 2 settlements now, the 2 villages now or towns now are now being contested. Shelling is reported at Prashistivka as well, according to the Russian Defense Ministry in their yesterday's report. There is also an attack against Vuhledar, according to AZ military, where the Russian forces, Marines, and separate Guards Motor Rifle Brigade and DPR Battalion Cascade has fought against the Omega Special Force and also the 1st Special Purpose Brigade that is defending Vuhledar. So they say that they are now 500 meters from the entrance of Vuhledar, so that will make it around here. So they are now near the junction here, and they're going to go into Vuhledar itself. So let's see whether this is true, because this from AZ military. I'm not sure where they aggregated the information. I haven't seen this in my usual sources. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, there is shelling report near Mikhailsk as well. So that's all from the Vuhledar line. Over the Marinka region, there is fighting reported at Marinka, according to AZ military. There is fighting reported at Vuhledar, and according to this report, the fighting here is actually conducted by the Chechen forces, the Ahmad Zapad Special Forces, and they are fighting around Vuhledar, and they have captured this warehouse just east of Vuhledar. So this is a thing. Krasnohorivka also received reports of attack, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. And that's all from the Marinka region. Over at the Pervomaisky-Pisky region, there is fighting reported at Pervomaisky, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Otherwise, we did not see any reports of other fighting around Nivelske, which we have seen fighting over the past few days, nor at Vodian. The entire push at Opayne seems to have gone already. We haven't heard anything, so let's push this back. Previously, we have seen reports of fighting at Zhevene, but nothing now. Moving on to the New York front. At the New York front, we don't have anything except that there is fighting reported near Mayosk, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. But that's all we know of the New York front. Now moving on to the Bakhmut front. Before we go to the Bakhmut front, there is a Sukhoi 27 getting shot down over Popivya. This according to the Russian Defense Ministry in yesterday's report. And over at Bakhmut front, there is fighting reported at Klishchiivka. The fighting is now in the center of Klishchiivka already. And yesterday we have reported that there is a expansion of the Russian controlled territory just in the rear of Klishchiivka. And if this development continues, the Ukrainian forces at Klishchiivka might be encircled. So no, the situation here is pretty critical. They don't have the window to retreat. Might close pretty soon. So they only have one main road going out here, and then they have to travel through all this grid to Ivanivsky. So they need to either hold or make a decision quick. They do have a major defensive lines around here, so they might feel very safe about this. But images coming out from this region, there's satellite photos, coming out from this region. It looks pretty white because it's snowing, so it looks nothing like this Google map. And it looks pretty bombarded. Like there's literally pimple holes, or like you can see that a lot of pimples have formerly grown there and are squeezed out, and a lot of holes all over the place. Moving on to the Bakhmut city. At the Bakhmut city, there is corroboration further by Brussels liaison and Ryba. Both of them have reported that Opine has been captured by the Russian forces. So this continues to corroborate my analysis that this is captured according to Suryat mapping, and also yesterday's report by Ryba that the fighting is now in the northern outskirts of Opine. There is fighting reported on the eastern side of Bakhmut, according to Ryba, where Wagner private military contractors are conducting street fighting on the eastern quarters of the city. On the northern part, there is fighting reported near Pihorodne. Pihorodne has been captured, with the Russian Defense Ministry announcing that they have captured Pihorodne. So this fighting is unlikely to be at Pihorodne, but it's probably very close to the northern settlements or the northern suburbs of Bakhmut. So the Russians are definitely pushing this direction. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry have confirmed that there is fighting at Paraskovyievka, according to their today's report, and there is also fighting reported at Krasnohora. Krasnohora, there is corroboration from Deep State UA, which is the pro-Ukrainian source, Ryba, which is the pro-Russian source, and we have the Ukrainian Defense Ministry also reporting about this. So the fighting here is as confirmed as it can be. There is also fighting reported at Vuhledar, according to Ryba, saying that the Russian forces is developing an offensive against this settlement. The latest information of Vuhledar is that there is still fighting at Vuhledar. The Vuhledar has not fallen to the Russians just yet. The fighting is still ongoing, and there is, however, according to Deep State UA, they have multiple reports based on photos and videos coming out from the region from Russian and Ukrainian sources. There's a photo taken here, which they geolocated to be here, and then there is another photo taken here by the Russian forces, another one here at the salt mine number 4. There's another one near the city council, and this actually allows Deep State UA to actually update their map into a horror show for their followers, because they are a pro-Ukrainian source. And prior to these reports, they have not updated their map, causing pro-Ukrainian YouTubers and analysts to all report wrong reports or misleading reports on Vuhledar. They all reported that the front line did not change. This is kind of hilarious to me, because there is so much evidence coming out from the pro-Russian sources that there is actually much progress from the Russian side. The latest update from the Ukrainian encirclement at Vuhledar, coming out from Intel Slava. Again, I do not know where they exactly they get the sources. They say that there is at least 500 Ukrainian soldiers being surrounded, and about 100 has already surrendered. So many of these surrendered one have bullet wounds, or they have or shrapnel wounds, or they are suffering frostbite and hypothermia. So the winter has not been kind to the Ukrainian forces in Vuhledar, and the fighting continues over this region. The front line have changed a bit, with the Russian controlled area pushing westward, and the entire encirclement looking more clear now because of the photo being taken here, which means that this area here is Russian controlled. So the Ukrainian encirclement is likely to be pretty small, and maybe some randoms all around this area that I fully map as pink, because they are just remnants, they are not actually Ukrainian positions. So things are looking bad. Some of the Russian sources are saying that the fighting is really in the pocket on the western side, but unclear how the pocket looks like. So this is the best that we get at the moment. Fighting is reported at Sil, and this corroborated by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. First reported by the Russian pro-Russian source Riba, where they said that the Russian forces are storming the Ukrainian position near the railway station. And further up north, we do not have reports of fighting at Krasnopolivka today. And there is fighting reported, however, at Rozdolivka, according to AZ military, and then also corroborated by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. According to the AZ military's report, they said that the fighting is conducted by the 10th Guard Motor Rifle Division of the Russian Federation, and reportedly is very good at urban and forest warfare. So whatever that's supposed to mean. And that's all from the Bakhmut, Vuhledar situation. Over at the Sivers front, we do not have any reports of fighting. There's nothing at Bilohorivka, nothing at Spurny. Maybe have something to do with the change of command and leadership that the Sivers push is currently paused. Over at the Kreminna front, at the Kreminna region, there is multiple fighting reports, with the Russian Defense Ministry yesterday reported that they attacked in some kind of a combined arms way, because they say military artillery fire, assault, and army aviation strike. So it sounds like a combined arms offensive against Ukrainian forces on the eastern side of Toske. They also attacked at near Dibrova. So the Ukrainians did their own attacks and offensive at Kuzmine, as well as at the Sebryansky forest tree. However, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported that the Russians are the one attacking near Kreminna. So might be the engagement. So they just report it as a Russian attack. Further up north from the Serebryansky forest tree, there is a Russian attack as well at Shevonopopivka. And over at Makievka, the Russians are also attacking Makievka in this region as well in their combined arms attack. So I think this is the first real time where the Russians really talk, not really first, but one of the more clearer times where they are really talking about an attack, because they say assault. So usually they don't put assault in. That means they are not attacking with a ground attack. So this seems like one of the rare times that the Russian Defense Ministry talk about their offensives. Over at the Sviatove front, this is Sviatove city. At the Sviatove front, we have fighting reported at Stemakivka. As usual, it's like a daily thing, like you brush your teeth and go and bathe. Or maybe you don't, maybe you are quite disgusting. Moving up to Kupiansk region, there is shelling reported at Novoselivsky, at Kaislivka, as well as at Sinkivka. And these are reported by the Russian Defense Ministry. No ground offensive around here. The fighting reported at Khrianivkivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, was not repeated. And that's all. That is all for the summary for the day of 322 for the 11th of January. And please press the subscribe button. If you have not subscribed, please press the like button to help to encourage the algorithm to promote this to more people. And also do share this with your friends, family, and contacts, if they are interested to know more about the war. And then also this also help to reach help the channel to reach more new viewers. So that's actually very, very important. So thank you for watching. And if you want to know more about this change of command, I have done a video about a detailed video about this, what do I think, and the analysis of this change over at the DPA main channel. The link is now here. and you can actually click and go over there and watch it, and I'll see you in the next update.